I'm going to start this video off by making one thing very clear. Illegal hands to the face actually means hands to the face, not hands to the chest. I mean, what happened Monday night in the Lions-Packers game was another example of a sad but very, very, very real issue in both the NFL and college football. Referees and their incompetence are ruining football. That's how it is. I mean, they quite frankly cost the Lions that game. Were the refs 100% why the Lions lost? No. But there's no excuse for the incompetence that was officiating on Monday night. And then you have situations like in Saturday's Louisville-Wake Forest game where referees can't even tell who got an onside kick. I mean, I'm not like, referee competence is at the lowest it's ever been in the history of football. Even the replacement refs in the NFL years back, despite the Hail Mary, were better than this. I'd call this officiating garbage, but as I'm fond of saying, that's an insult to garbage, and I don't want to do garbage like that. Garbage doesn't deserve to be compared to these football referees that have no idea what they're doing. And quite frankly, especially in college football, some of these ACC referees, between the North Carolina Wake Forest game ending and the Louisville Wake Forest game ending, look like they don't really care. They look like they just want to get out of there as soon as possible, get their paycheck, and leave. There was obviously a second left on the clock in that game. They didn't even bother reviewing it. They just left. And they coincidentally gave the onside kick to the team, to Louisville, maybe to avoid having to go to an overtime. And I'll tell you though, with Louisville and Wake Forest, with their offenses, you don't know how many overtimes they would have gone. But the point is the same. It is a disgrace. It is insulting to the fans that have to watch this junk and think like, oh, there's no way they'll know that we're incompetent. Yeah, we do. Referees, you have been exposed. You all suck. And I'm sick and tired of it. It's an issue in other sports too. Like, it is. They're obvious calls. I mean, it's an issue across the board. I'm a Virginia fan, and I'm not sure how you can call what happened in the Maryland lacrosse game a goal. It hit the crossbar. Come on. I get it. Refs miss calls. But in my opinion, it's one thing to miss a call. And like, unfortunately, the double dribble in the Final Four is not reviewable. It's another thing to miss a call and then stand by it on replay. Despite, like in the Louisville Wake Forest game, that video looked pretty obvious that Wake Forest had the onside kick. It's not the reason they lost, but they should have had another chance to tie or win. Sure looked pretty obvious to me. Christian Beal-Smith gave the ball to the referee. Not sure how much more obvious it can get than that. That's pretty dang indisputable, if I must say so myself. It's a separate issue entirely now when you have referees calling penalties that are not there. Right? It's one thing to miss a double dribble, but it's another issue entirely, and in fact, in my opinion, it's actually worse if you call a double dribble when it's not there. So like, it's one thing in football terms, it's one thing if you miss hands to the face, but it's worse when you call hands to the face when it's not. And they did that multiple times against the Lions, and it was just really bad. Monday night was a rough night for referees, but it's been an increasing trend that referees are starting to look less and less like they know what they're doing and more like they don't.